So this is important. Now, if you've ever been to a spiritual church, a spiritual centre, a spiritual sanctuary, you will find that they will offer what we know is called demonstration evenings or a spiritual service. Now, in the days gone by, the services were probably about 2 to 2.5 hours long, and the mediumship part was probably the smallest part of the entire service. Now, on a Sunday, there would normally be what we call a divine service. So what actually happens at Glasgow Spiritual Centre mimics very much what happens now in the modern day of spiritual centres, churches and stuff. More progressive churches will kind of hit this kind of idea. So what happens is, for all the ones that I know, and I've been serving churches for years and years and years, so churches, sanctuaries and centres, we'll use churches as the main word for it all, and there's an hour. So you have an hour that you come along, and within that hour there is normally the introduction, the house rules, the opening prayer, 1 to 4 songs or hymns. So they may play music, or they may play they may have you sing along to hymns, and they'll have a hymn book. Some places will choose pop songs, and they'll maybe have 1 to 4 songs, and the songs are about contemplation and energy and bringing us together and sense thoughts of healing. Then there was usually, then after that, there would be the healing book that would be done, with all the names within the healing book are read out. And then the medium would take to the platform to do what's known as a spiritual address or contemplation. Spiritual address basically is the medium finding a way to bring us all together within a story about their own life. A lot of mediums now use it to tell their way of working, maybe their journey into mediumship, the story of how they got here, and so on. And then after that would be the demonstration. And then once the demonstration of mediumship, or it was known in the past of, the demonstration of clairvoyance. And then once that finished, you would then have a closing prayer, and if there was a raffle drawn to help raise funds for the centre, then they would do that. So within that 1 hour, you would pay £2 to £5, depending on where you're going. And within that 1 hour, that would be the norm of what would take place. So if you go to a more traditional spiritual church, you definitely have about 4 hymns within the first, say, 12 minutes. So within that 1 hour, you're paying, whatever you're paying, my place is £4.50, and you're paying that to then have that. All of the things that take place within that are important. So at my place, there is the opening prayer, the introduction, the opening prayer, we would have house rules, any instructions, the spiritual address, the demonstration of mediumship, and the closing prayer. That's not what happens. I recently didn't do an opening prayer because I felt the energy in the room was quite low, and I wanted to raise that vibration, and I kind of, in my badness, I forgot to do the prayer in my own bloody place, and it was me that was doing the demonstration. So there was a lesson for me because I forgot to do the prayer, the opening and closing prayer, which is really, really annoying. I didn't realise that until later. But also I was really focused on the energy of the room was quite flat, and I wanted to raise the vibration and really help. So I used a lot of kind of really upbeat humour and chat and stuff to raise that vibration. Now it's £4.50 to get in my place, and that demonstration is a demonstration, but within that it encompasses a lot of things. And as I say, because I'm so progressive and modern, I don't have hymns and songs and all that to go on. There's a healing book there for people to put names in, and I send the absent healing with a few other people that do so. So there is things there, but what I have to remember is these are not psychic nights where you go to a pub or a club and you have that, and there's more time. It's an hour and a half to 2 hours depending on the medium and the venue, etc. So think about what's involved. The funds that you're putting in is to help keep the building going. That's what it's for. There's no money to be made from the spiritual services of these places. A lot of churches, sanctuaries and centres do fundraising nights with mediums to keep the doors open. So all I want you to do is think about going forward what it costs. I think that's the important thing, and what you're getting and what you get out of it, and what is actually meant to be included